Let me first check the audio. So check the audio if it's okay for you concerning loudness, understandability, articulation, and echo. Please write down your findings in the chat below. And we'll wait. There's something coming in. Okay. One participant, he has a low bandwidth. So I take off my video for better audio on your side. So I have the red cursor. Okay, fine, works. Everything is fine. So the webinar will start soon. Again, I switch off my video for better understanding of the audio of those who have a lower bandwidth. That makes sense, I think so. English is not our mother tongue. So we are German, or German Switzerland, or Germany, or Austria trainers. This webinar is only an introduction. You cannot earn any PDUs for this introductory session now. That is for your information. We speak about PMIACP Certification Exam Preparation. ACP means the Agile Certified Practitioner. This is the introductory session provided by us on PMIACP Exam Certification Exam Preparation. This is very similar to the first introducing session that one needs to go through to complete this PMIACP web-based training. You will not receive PDUs for this introductory session, but for the full webinar seminar course. At the end of this training, you will be able to understand about Agile exam and learn fundamentals of Agile certification course. Upon completion of the entire course, you should be able to understand the fundamental concepts and terminology in PMI-ACP as required by PMI. This course will provide you knowledge that you will need to attempt the PMI-ACP Certification Exam. Let us now look to the agenda of this session. The whole session is divided into 10 parts. In this session, we shall get information of the course, the training partners, the webinar process, webinar organization, and all relevant PMI-ACP details. In this session, we shall learn about the PMI-ACP certification, including the eligibility requirements, timeline, PMI certification fees, the PMI-ACP exam blueprint, exam content outline, etc. We also speak about PMI membership fees. We shall also learn about the maintenance and renewal of the credential and about the examination itself. At the end, we summarize all important information to join to the course and to speak about our prices and options to process the course. If you have any question, please place it in the chat below to answer immediately or later on. Also, we speak about the schedule and how the course as a whole can be held. This is everything about constraints, grouping, and individualization of the exam preparation, especially in the class. Right? Good. PMI, the Project Management Institute, is a well-known non-for-profit organization in the discipline of project management. The purpose of PMI is advanced project management. the PMP, the Management Professional Certification, and its foundation, the PM Book, that is the Project Management Book of Knowledge, is worldwide well known for its challenges. Since 2007, the PMP certification earns the ANSI ISO IAC 17024 accreditation from the ISO, the International Organization for Standardization. Xanthis Training is already active in training and educating PMP and CAPM students. Xanthis Training is PMIACP, that means Registered Education Provider, and has the ID 2851. Seminars, not webinars, held in the rooms at Xanthis Training in Zurich-Altstetten are week evening events. Trainings can also held at your location. That's depending on number of participants, and in-house, that is at your company. For seminars at evening hours, please get the Xanthis flyer in the Files tab at the seminar webinar offer site. That's in the edutip-akademie-methoden.ch or at my website. That's the subdomain site PMI-ACP.methoden.ch. With Engineering is the developer of this PMI-ACP Exam Preparation Training and provides the webinar platform, all the training materials, and the trainers. The student must be online present in the webinar seminar at least a minimum of 21 hours to earn 21 PDUs, handed out by Xanthis Training as a RAP. Our intention was that you receive your 21-hour PDUs from our training partner as well as a well-known PMI RAP. Now, let's come to me. Who am I? I'm the developer of all the PMI-ACP deliveries you would receive from us. The training, that is for the seminar or the webinar video recording, the question catalog of the 800 plus, that is more than 2,000 questions, including flashcards. The 800 plus questions are directly referenced to the PMI-ACP reference books. We'll come to that later a little bit. The Agile PM Expert Sheet for reuse in your business area, and that is also especially for lesson 16. The Enterprise Architect models of all shown content as an HTML export. My project management experience has begun in 1988 and was already agile in the early mid-90s by intuition. It was funny to understand it at that time that agile software development, how we did by scope needs, got a name, and it was Scrum, and in certain reasons Extreme Programming, XP. Now I want to answer you, want to vote, what is your PMI education? And for that I start the vote. So that is the vote. Yes, I started. So you can choose the options. Okay, some coming in. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okay, I think that is all. Yeah, looks like we have 5 answers. Okay, that can be. Okay, yes. And I provide you the result. So we have 40% PMPs. I think that from the C3 participants in that webinar, these are 2. And 60% have a CAPM, that is all. Right? All participants has a CAPM. Okay, that's a good combination. The CAPM or the PMP and the PMI-ACP. Especially when you're working in the software area, then it's a good add-on for your career. And okay, that's fine. I've taken off the dialog. Okay, doke. Yeah, good. What's about me? Today, I stand for 3 certain topics. First, enable sustainable product and project assets. Values and concepts are important if they are good. Second, the importance to eliminate waste, that means efficiency, from the beginning and later in all other ways. Effectiveness and efficiency means to do the right things right. Third, the Agile Manifesto gets more and more important for products and projects when I compare the as-is with the to-be. That is my finding in big companies. Okay. Now let us talk how the webinar process is organized. It is important to register that at EduDip by your real name and address as provided in your passport or any passport document, and chipped to PMI at least, and your regular used email for invoicing. Why? Scientist training must certify the attendance in the trainings of minimum 21 hours with 21 PDUs. This document uses your name and must be the same name as in your passport. For name duplicates in EduDip, maybe, use a number at the end to count up, which can be stripped off later. E.g., in my case, Frank Ritz 1 exists and I choose Frank Ritz 2 or so. A class should be fine with 10, 5 is the minimum, to 40 students in one classroom or stream. We are able to reduce the classroom to another schedule in a way that 2 different schedules exist. This means the classroom has split into 2 streams. This is possible on request of the class, that means if you wish that, and can be done very flexible. Please be a self-organized class in all cases. You know each other, you try to help each other, etc. You communicate. Right? The regular first session brings up the same content as now, but not as much introducing as now, but more organization, schedule, and building a class. Finally, the 30 session, after the 30 session, 21 PDUs are earned. If this was not possible for you on good reasons, business travels and else, we can switch you to another webinar class without any additional fees. Now let's talk about webinar and class organization. In general, the class is flexible based on your family and business needs. My initial plans are 2 options. 2 webinar evenings during Monday to Friday, starting at 19:30, and 1 webinar is Saturday, starting at 10. The other option, 1 webinar evening during Monday to Friday, and 2 webinar at the weekend, at Saturday and Sunday, starting at 10. Now, I try to do a second vote. Let's get statistics about this. It's not a commit, right? By the procedure on voting, and I'll show you now that survey. Start that. Now it's out. Please you to do the survey. Okay, some is coming in already. Fine. Okay. Okay, that's not all. I think so. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That is what I request, what I expect a little bit. And yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. I show you the result. Okay. So we have the option A. It's 2 webinars Monday to Friday and 1 on Saturday. And we have Thursday with 25%. Then we have equal to Tuesday and Saturday with 80%. That means the ideal week looks like we have the option 1 or A with Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. That's a good distribution. Okay, that seems to be fine. Okay, if it comes to a real class, then that would be what we prefer, right? About this vote. But it's a class event. I told you already that we have that class event, and I end up this vote. Okay, there's a class event, the class decides, right? Okay, fine. Next, please behave like a real class. Share your contact with the edited means, like the forum in this webinar, or by connection to each other by name. Exchange messages and questions in the forum, or communicate by your private emails, information messenger like Skype, FaceTime, or by phone. Do not use the webinar chat for sharing this information except questions through the complete class, right? 11 weeks are long. We have to process 30 sessions, sorry. Each session is with 45 to 15 minutes of listening and 10 to 15 minutes to answer questions and to have discussions about the lesson or questions from the catalog. One important thing about presentation. I use many texts for your studies. I try a good trade-off between text and graphics. You will get an idea later in the PMI-ACP part. So, organization of questions, catalog tools, and access closure. How we can help you doing your exam preparation and studies. First, we keep open a 1-year access to all materials and tools. Second, we allow to switch all the time to the unlimited class stream option without any other costs rather than the update price. We provide a session copy, class or stream, of each webinar recording, that's a video. It's done by EduDip and you get it from us. All materials can be used by yourself and for your work. Finally, you get a personal copy of each lesson for your preparation of the upcoming webinars. This copy is a PDF, password protected, with your full written name, not printable, and with no copy and paste capabilities. Exam conditions with random questions are conditioned to simulate a real exam. The online question catalog allows also a theme-based study in the future based on lesson slides. That's not current. In the case of theme-based study, you may also go back and forth within these questions using the on-screen navigation. Also, you are encouraged to answer them sequentially. An exam question survey besides the webinar is provided and available for you. Check the theme questions after each session. If your answer is right, we will go to the next question. If the answer is wrong, the right answer will be provided to you, and that with the original source of the 800 plus questions of the 11 reference books. Again, we assume that lessons can be held for 10 to 40 participants. A minimum of 5, also a maximum of 50 participants might be possible, but this is not our target. We support private working groups in collaboration by exchanging your email or phone to your class and stream, and welcome communication in our forum. There's a problem like the hen-egg problem. So payment is the commitment to be in the class. But the class founded by us decides for the schedule later on. That's a class event. First, you will get your money back if the class do not support your schedule and no other stream or class can be found by us. Second, we try to make it possible to support your schedule requirements. This is important for us. Next, what is additional to say? We recommend to watch the video that has been recorded after each session. Each session consumes 3 to 5 hours for self-study, video recapture, question catalog, preparation for the next webinar. Also check books like the PMI-ACP Exam Prep from Mike Griffiths and other material. We provide you a list of that. Furthermore, check your theme knowledge permanently. Understand how PMI wants to get questions to be answered. Your personal understanding might conflict with the view of PMI-ACP designers or the authors of the 11 agility reference books. That is nearly 5,000 pages thick. Note, these 11 books on agility have no common coordinated understanding and stay partly in conflict. The 800 plus questions of the catalog covers all the relevant areas and hides you a little bit from these conflicts. Now I want to make a screen sharing and want to show you the PMI-ACP website where you can get all the information you need. Okay. Good. This is the PMI-ACP website. And here you find the eligibility requirements, as well as you find the PMI-ACP handbook and the examination content outline. That is very important. The examination content outline is very important for you to understand what you have to learn for the exam. And the handbook shows you how the exam is working. As well, you have the examination reference list. I have already opened that file here. These are the 11 books who are relevant. And maybe you know some of them. Agile Project Management with Scrum from Ken Swaber. Or Making Good Teams Great from Esther Derby, Diana Larsen, and Ken Schwaber. Or Alistair Cockburn, Agile Software Development, So Cooperative Game. Or The Software Manager's Project Manager's Bridge to Agility from Michael Slinger and Stacia Bodorek. Or from Elisa Ladkins, Coaching Agile Teams. This all is part of, that is the foundation of the PMIACP certification. And all our 800 plus questions take all the relevant information of these books and provide you that in a question-based form that you do not need to read the books. Right? Many of these books are also available as ebooks, and it would be fine for you to buy them more than ebooks than on paper books, because paper books, 11 books are heavy, 5,000 pages you cannot take with you all the time. Think about it. Okay, this is where you find the information. Now let us look to the agenda again. How you can join to the exam preparation. Now we shall learn about PMI-ACP certification, including the eligibility requirements, timelines, PMI certification fees, the PMI-ACP exam blueprint, the exam content outline, etc. We also speak about PMI memberships fees now in the next slides. We shall also learn about the maintenance and renewal of the credential and about the examination itself. This is important for non-PMI members to understand also how renewal of the certification can be done. Also, we speak about PMI membership. At the end, we summarize all important information to join to the course and speak about our prices and options to process the course without help. The webinar now is only an introduction. Again, you cannot earn any PDUs. The webinar stream earning is 21 PDUs. Let's speak about the eligibility requirements. The eligibility criteria for the PMIACP certification can be summarized as follows. First, educational background. You must have a secondary degree, a high school diploma or associate degree or higher. Then general project management experience. You must have at least 2,000 hours or 12 months of experience on working on project teams in the past 5 years. Note that these 12 months may or may not have been spent on projects following agile methodologies. Please have no overlapping with traditional and agile projects. Agile project management experience. You must have at least 1,500 hours or 8 months of experience on working on agile methodologies in the past 3 years. This could be any of the known agile methodologies, including Scrum, Extreme Programming, XP, DSDM, FTD, Crystal, Agile Modeling, and else. So you must be careful that there is no overlap of general project management experience and agile project management experience. And if there is an overlap, then correct that. They must be in series. There must be no parallel in the time schedule. Agile project management training. You must have undergone at least 21 hours of education on agile project management topics. Means that not a full attendance in the webinar stream is needed, right? But recommended to self-study the missed webinars. At least you must have 21 hours on registered education, registered webinar hours. Right? Note, it is not allowed that components of general and agile timeline have overlaps. So that is, think about here, these and these timeline should not have any overlaps. But you can, and I have told you already, if you have many agile project experience, also agile experience is general project experience. So that is, you can also agile projects place here as a general project experience, and then you have especially agile project experience with these numbers of hours or months. Understand that the PMI-ACP is both competency-based, meaning that the person has a competency to perform a certain function, as well as a knowledge-based training, meaning that the person's knowledge to perform a certain function has been tested. The examination that you are required to pass and the requirement for agile project management training try to ensure the knowledge, but the competency can only be proven by actually performing the role that is experienced in projects. This explains the requirements for the project management and agile experience. The fact that it is both knowledge and competency based enhances its value in the market. That's just like the PMI's certifications, e.g. the PMP certification itself. Okay? Let's speak about the timeline. Once you fill up and submit the application online, the application is assessed for completeness. This process takes up to 10 business days. After the assessment is complete, you are able to make payment to finalize the application. After the payment is made, the application may be selected for audit. Not all applications may be audited, but a fraction of applications are. If your application does not selected for audit, you basically get an email giving clear instructions on how to pass the audit and what evidences are required. Typically, it will require gathering some evidence and submit it to PMI. Note that this evidence is required in physical form, not scanned or faxed copies or electronic signatures. So it may take a while for you to gather all this material. If you are making a schedule for the certification process, do make allowances for the possibility of being audited and the time it takes to complete the audit process. We have no experience but calculate about 6 to 8 weeks. Note, if the audit is not successful, there is a refund policy to receive $200 back. This is written in the PMI-ACP handbook. Important. After you complete the audit process, or if your application was not selected for audit, you get a confirmation email that says that you are now eligible to appear to the examination. This eligibility is valid for the period of 1 year. 1 year duration to proceed the exam from the application completeness review to the exam itself. Right? That must be 1 year, not a day longer, right? And I recommend you early find out a permitted computer-based test center where you can do that, where the schedule is okay, right? Because partly they are full booked and then you get some problems. Okay, doke. Now we speak about PMI-ACP certification fees. The fees for computer-based tests are $435 for members and $495 for non-members. Do remember that the membership for 1 year costs $129 plus a one-time $10 joining fee, that is $139 in all. It makes sense to think about getting a PMI member first. The membership does provide some additional benefits, which includes the ability to freely download the PMI standards, access to the PMI online library, subscription to PMI publications like the PM Network, discounts to PMI events, seminars, webinars, and conferences, etc. So, we do encourage participants to first become a member and then apply to the certification. Membership also makes sense if you want, or maybe you like the fact, that the certification is an asset for your career for decades. The re-examination fee, in case, God forbid, you fail the first attempt, is $335 for members and $395 for non-members. That means not passing the exam successfully has its price. But we do believe that if you prepare well, practice the exam, and give the exam the respect it deserves, you will definitely clear in the first attempt. This is all what PMI requests. Now let's speak about the PMI-ACP certification maintenance. That's especially for non-members important. Like all PMI certifications, the PMI-ACP certification is valid for a period of 3 years, and then it has to be renewed. The renewal process for the PMI-ACP comprises accumulating 30 professional development units, PDUs, during the 3-year validity period, and submitting the renewal fees of $60 for members and $150 for non-members. Again, think about a PMI membership if that PMI-ACP certification is an asset for you. If you do happen to hold other PMI credentials, like the PMP or the PGMP, the certification renewal cycles for all the certifications are combined, and the PDUs that you earn can be applied for all of them in the same time. For instance, the PMP requires 60 PDUs, and the PMI-ACP requires 30 PDUs for renewal. But if you hold both credentials, you only need 60 PDUs. That's like the maximum function of all required credentials to renew both of them. If you do skip the renewal process, the certification goes into suspended state for 1 year. Maintenance 3 years. If you are greater 3 years, or haven't 30 PDUs registered, or if you have not prolonged the payment, you go in suspended state for 1 year. And if you have not renewed this time period, you will expire and you will not be able to claim certified status. This is final. If this 1 year is run out, you finally lost your certification. Right? When you act inside 1 year, you pay, you have your PDUs got registered, then you can renew your certification. Right? A quick word about prices and PDUs is in order. Prices in the European Union are also in euro. Please check the PMI-ACP handbook. PDUs can be earned by participating in PMI event trainings and conferences, volunteering for PMI chapters or communities, performing research on topics of interest to PMI, etc. Details can be found on the PMI website by referring to the Continuing Certification Requirements Handbook, CCR. This is also provided at the PMI website, at the website I have shown you already. Next, speak about the PMI-ACP Exam Blueprint. The PMI-ACP examination consists of 120 multiple choice questions which have to be answered in 3 hours. Of the 120 questions, 20 are experimental questions, and the remaining 100 actually count towards your final score. Do remember through that you cannot identify which of the 120 questions are experimental. So for all intents and purposes, you need to attempt all of them with an equal amount of attention. 50% of the exam questions test the participant on agile tools and techniques, and 50% on agile knowledge and skills. Agile tools and techniques are further classified into 10 areas, while there are 43 knowledge and skill areas that are outlined. You should familiarize yourself with the PMI-ACP examination content outline document available on the PMI website to get more details about the examination itself. We provide a checklist containing all topics for your convenience. This slide explains the knowledge and skill levels required across level 1, 2, and 3. Collectively, they account for 50% of the examination questions and out of 43 areas. This course is designed to cover all of these, however, but the participants are encouraged to go through the list themselves and the list of suggested references available on the PMI website. We have shown you the list of reference books. Please ensure that you have a fair amount of confidence in these knowledge and skill areas before appearing for the examination. It sounds simple and easy, but it isn't. Be very serious about the soft skills needed for the exam. We do encourage participants to go through the examination content outline document carefully to guide their preparation for the PMI-ACP examination. We support this with a checklist. The knowledge and skills are further classified as follows. Level 1 accounts for 33% of the exam questions. This is comprising 18 knowledge and skill areas. Level 2, comprising of 12 knowledge and skill areas, accounts for 12% of the exam questions. Level 3 is comprising 13 knowledge and skill areas, accounts for 5% of the exam questions. The agile tools and techniques tested in the examination are as follows. This is 50%, but not linear distributed about the following items: communications, planning, monitoring and adapting, agile estimation, agile analysis and design, product quality, soft skills integration, value-based prioritization, risk management, metrics, and value stream analysis. Practical, technical-oriented participants are typically more familiar with agile tools and techniques, especially estimation, product quality, prioritization, metrics, and else. Again, knowledge and skills are already provided with the previous slide. Is knowledge and skill 1, 2, and 3 equals to 50% of the examination. Don't forget that. Now let's speak about the webinar or the seminar, and I give you an overview of the lessons. This tutorial is broken up into 16 lessons. This one, similar to the webinar, is being the first of them. The lessons will prepare you for the PMI-ACP Certification examination. Some lessons take 1.5 to 2.5 hours of content. So they will be split into our schedule. We will explain Agile Project Management Framework, Agile Planning, Monitoring and Adapting, Agile Estimation, Communication, Agile Analysis and Design, Product Quality, Soft Skills Innovation, Value-Based Prioritization, Risk Management, Agile Metrics, Value Stream Analysis. Then the 3 Agile knowledge and skill areas. They are distributed partly with the other themes where it makes sense. Then a practice of project management. It's a game using the tools. There we use the Excel file and metrics and else. Each session is accompanied by a set of 4 exam questions designed to test your knowledge. Deepen your thematic knowledge per session or lesson by the studies of the list of thematic-oriented questions in the questions catalog. This is all the best for your certification journey. Now let's speak about prices and conditions. First, there is a one class-based webinar. It's 30 hours, 21 PDUs, including all the 800 plus questions. Materials and documents electronically for 1 year for just 1,000 Swiss francs. Upgrade to free classes streams is possible as shown in the next option. This is the single position here. Right. Second, there is a 1 year unlimited class streams webinar for 1,400 Swiss francs. Anyone in the single class can upgrade any time for this product by 400 Swiss francs fine. Third, there is a seminar held at Dante's Training or at another location in your country, especially surrounding countries like the European Union, if there are enough students, for just 2,100 Swiss francs. We also provide in-house trainings at your company site. Please ask for conditions. Fourth, it's the same as the third offer, but with the one based webinar additionally. That is this year. You get the training and we have the full webinar class like we have shown here. It's one class-based webinar additionally for just 1,000 Swiss francs extra. This is great to split the certification learning. That means begin learning with a seminar and finalize it short before the exam with a webinar class. Fifth, exam preparation question catalog can be booked independently from the webinar seminar membership. 800 plus questions are directly referenced to the PMI-ACP reference books. Currently, we have more than 2,000 questions and more than 100 flashcards in the catalog. In the future, the catalog, especially the flashcards, can be bought as apps, iPhone, iPad, and else in the app stores. So we come to the end. If you have any questions, you haven't written questions here while we're doing the webinar. Okay. If you have any questions, write it down in the chat, please. Okay. You can raise your hand if you want to speak. Okay, no one raises their hand. Okay, you can send me some for a vote if you want to vote to also other participants, so I can open a vote and then we can get the results. Also not. Okay, so I thank you for the attendance in the webinar, and I hope to see you again. I write down in the chat below my telephone number also. My email you have on the slides. You can download it. You can download the flyers. You get all the information to contact me. And you can visit the website and can make the offer there. You can pay there if you want. And we find the webinar for you. We collect participants and then we choose and find a class, and then we speak about how the webinar can start. Okay, thank you very much, and bye-bye.